Tens of thousands of Palestinians forced out of Gaza are slowly beginning their journey home again, carrying their belongings on their backs as they wait at roadblocks. But meanwhile, President Trump has raised the possibility of them not staying there in the future, with Gaza being, in his words, cleaned out.
Well, let's be hopeful and look, it's still a long way to go, and we are, with what have happened throughout the last 15 months and negotiating this very difficult conflict. It showed us that everything can be resolved through talks and through engagement and through negotiations, and we hope that this will be just, a first step towards stability. It all depends how, if they are embarking in this in good faith, this will last and hopefully will lead to phase 2, will lead to a permanent ceasefire, and hopefully we will have the time to address the real issue and to put an end for this conflict that's been there for decades. There are a lot of talks and a lot of conversations about the day after in Gaza and the reconstruction and what will happen next. I believe, this question primarily needs to be answered by the Palestinian people and what they will agree on. I don't see that there is any country in position to dictate anything on them, on the way that they will be governed. We hope to see the PA back.
But meanwhile, President Trump has raised the possibility of them not staying there in the future, with Gaza being, in his words, cleaned out. He wants the people there deported to places such as Egypt and Jordan. Speaking on Air Force One, he said, "You are talking about probably 1.5 million people, and we just clean out that whole thing."
Temporarily, or it could be either. It could be temporarily, it could be long-term.
The toothless Palestinian Authority was quick to reject Trump's dangerous proposal. The Arab League said in its statement, and I quote, "The General Secretariat reaffirms that the just Palestinian cause is fundamentally a matter of land and people. It categorically rejects attempts to displace the Palestinian population from their land. Just look at the surroundings and helpless Palestinian men, women, children and babies. Little do they realize that they may be walking over debris that have tens of thousands of their loved ones buried underneath."
There are more than 100,000 displaced families, and Palestinians are crossing from the south of Gaza City to the north through Al-Rashid Street, and this is a struggling road. The Israeli army completely destroyed this road, as you can clearly see, and people are struggling walking on this road.
He said this could be long-term or it could be temporary, but Gaza was literally a demolition site and Arab nations should build housing in a different location for its people. Now, his comments have been greeted with horror by the United Nations, by Arab countries and the Palestinian National Authority, but with delight by Israeli settlers and hardline politicians in Tel Aviv who are already encouraging Jewish settlements inside Gaza.
It's just that these extremists are now actually within the Israeli government. They are ministers. So it's become more of a realistic prospect that they're going to support this and back it and encourage Trump to do this. And our understanding is that Trump had this suggested to him by Israeli leaders. This wasn't just done out of the blue.
That is absolutely fascinating. So a really, really good analysis. Thank you so much for joining LBC.
Now moving on, the United States will now be resuming sending deadly bombs to its biggest ally, Israel. President Donald Trump has lifted his predecessor Joe Biden's hold on the supply of 2,000-pound MK-84 or bunker buster bombs to Israel. Reports say that a total of 1,800 MK-84 bombs will be delivered from the U.S. to Israel in the coming days. According to the latest data, the U.S. has sent more than $22 billion to support Israel's military operations since the 7th of October 2023. A critical part of this support is in the form of the 2,000-pound MK-84 bombs. The MK-84 bombs were designed shortly after World War II. They are the largest in the Pentagon's Mark 80 series of bombs. The MK-84 bombs are also known as bunker buster bombs due to their capability to penetrate through underground bunkers. They are seen as too lethal for urban combat. Now, these bombs can result in craters that could be up to 11 meters deep. Between October of 2023 and May of 2024, as the war in Gaza raged on, the US reportedly sent at least 14,000 of these bombs to Israel. Israel is accused of using these bombs in densely populated civilian areas of Gaza.
Palestinian groups and tonight the Arab League have accused President Trump of advocating ethnic cleansing after he proposed relocating most of Gaza's residents to neighbouring Arab countries. It comes as Israel is continuing to prevent thousands of Palestinians from returning home to northern Gaza.
It's literally a demolition site right now. Almost everything's demolished and people are dying there. So I'd rather get temporary, or would they it could be either. It could be temporarily, could be long term. We release them.
Yeah.
We release them today, and they'll have them, and they paid for them, and they've been waiting for them for a long time. They've been in storage for a long time, but we released them today to Israel.
Why did you do that, sir?
Because they bought them.